A 30% jump in Kerala's COVID cases in the last 24 hours. Over 31,000 new cases reported. The state government flags this as an Onam spike. 215 deaths along with a test positivity rate of 19.03%. Congress once again backs Captain Amrinder Singh as Chief Minister amid a fresh rebellion against his leadership. MLAs meet party's Punjab in charge Harish Rawat in Dehradun. 24-year-old Uttar Pradesh woman who accused BSP MP Atul Rai of rape in 2019 died a week after she and her male friend set themselves on fire outside the gates of the Supreme Court. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Rishika Badwa. India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccine coverage has crossed the 60 crore milestone. 66 lakh vaccine doses have been administered till 7 p.m. But, well, only 10% of our population is fully vaccinated. So this is the time taken for India to cross each crore, and from 1 to 10 crore doses. It took 84 days initially, and that now, if you look at the last 10 crores, is down to 19 days. Let's also take a look at the states with the highest vaccination rates. Well, fully vaccinated doses. Kerala, actually, which is currently reporting this huge spike, has amongst the highest percentage of vaccination, followed by Delhi, Gujarat, Uttarakhand and Andhra Pradesh. Let's also take a look at the states with the lowest vaccine coverage. At the moment, Madhya Pradesh has the lowest with 7.6%, followed by Tamil Nadu, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh and, of course, Bihar. All right, well, global vaccine comparison, and this is very important while we celebrate that 60 crore milestone. Is it really a cause for celebration? Because only 9.4% of our total population is vaccinated. Compare that with the UK, it's 62%, US is 51%. Well, the Health Ministry has now said 2 crore doses from Friday will be reserved exclusively for teachers. School staff is going to be vaccinated on priority. This is the government's renewed push so that educational institutes can open. 2 crore doses will be dispatched between the 27th and 31st of August, catering exclusively to teachers pan-India. Now, the worrying rise, 30% jump in Kerala's COVID cases in 24 hours. Over 31,000 cases and 215 deaths have reported. The centre has warned against this COVID surge. The centre has also said that Kerala's cases are rising because of Onam. Take a look at the full story.
A symbolic race with just 3 boats at Aranmula this Onam, instead of the usual grand visual spectacle on the Pamba River. Despite the low-key celebrations, Kerala reported a sharp post-Onam spike to 31,455 cases on Wednesday. That is 8 out of 10 cases in the country. Kerala's Health Minister Veena George has called for increased vigil over the next 4 weeks as exposure at public gatherings during Onam season is expected to show up in the next 7 to 10 days with the spread of the highly infectious Delta variant. The state is firming up plans to vaccinate everyone above 18 by September end. Health economist Rijo John, who had earlier said Kerala's high numbers is due to better testing, has now pointed out that daily testing in the state had come down by 35% over the last 2 weeks. That showed up as a 14% decline in 7-day average of daily cases over 2 weeks. But test positivity rate during the same period went up from 12% to 16% and crossed 19% on Wednesday. The only reassurance for Kerala is that there has not been any major increase in ICU occupancy and hospitalization despite surge in new cases, and case fatality rate remains one of the lowest in the country at 0.5%. The centre has blamed rising cases in Kerala to Onam and has said they would provide 1.1 crore vaccine doses so that the state can vaccinate everyone above 18 by September end. Even otherwise, the zero prevalence in the state is only 44%. With SP Babu in Thiruvananthapuram and Nagaraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Well, the Congress has backed Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh once again after a section of party leaders rebelled against his chief ministership. Some MLAs even went to meet the party's Punjab in charge Harish Rawat in Dehradun. Here's a report on the Congress's continuing crisis in Punjab.
Another day, another rebellion faction for the Congress to deal with. A day after demanding the replacement of Amrinder Singh as Punjab Chief Minister, rebel MLAs from Punjab, including 4 ministers, met Punjab Congress in charge Harish Rawat today, reiterating their demand. Though to their disappointment, Mr. Rawat said Captain Amrinder will stay Chief Minister and be the Chief Minister face for 2022 polls.
मैं अभी हमने सीएम के फेस के विषय में कुछ कहा है और सत्यता ये है हम अमरिंदर सिंह जी के नेतृत्व में ही 2022 में चुनाव में.
But in a sign that the thaw arrived at by the High Command with Sidhu as party chief may have really not worked. Mr. Rawat admitting grievances do exist.
कुछ उनकी शिकायतें थी. कांग्रेस का कोई एमएलए यदि अपने को इनसिक्योर समझता है तो ये बहुत चिंताजनक है.
और हम इनसे मिलकर इनकी जो हमें आश्वासन दिया उससे सेटिस्फाइड है और अब ये बात हमारी आगे रखेंगे. जो फैसला हाई कमांड करेगी हम उसके साथ जाएंगे.
Though Mr. Rawat maintains that crisis will be over soon, Navjot Sidhu continues to be under attack from the captain's camp.
जो एडवाइजर है पता नहीं कहां से आए. कांग्रेस पार्टी के जो लोग हैं ये पार्टी के प्रधान हैं तो पार्टी प्रति इनको ऐसे चुनने चाहिए जो पार्टी में से आए हैं.
Earlier this week, the Gandhis reportedly expressed their displeasure when Sidhu's key aides, Malvinder Mali, posted a Facebook post that the captain camp said was pro-Pakistan. Another aide put up a post against Indira Gandhi. The question is, will repeated revolts and open differences cost Congress the election in the state?
Punjab Affairs in charge Harish Rawat has maintained that Captain Amrinder Singh will be party's face for the next assembly elections. But a tough task lies ahead for the central leadership to resolve the crisis which has been plaguing the state unit for the last couple of months. In Chandigarh, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
A 24-year-old woman from eastern Uttar Pradesh who had accused BSP parliamentarian Atul Rai of rape back in 2019 died at a Delhi hospital a week after she and her male friend set themselves on fire outside the gates of the Supreme Court of India. Alok Pandey brings us this report.
10 days after she set herself on fire outside the Supreme Court of India, a 24-year-old woman from eastern UP who filed a rape case against Lok Sabha MP Atul Rai of the Bahujan Samaj Party in 2019 died in a Delhi hospital on Tuesday. A friend of the woman who was also with her had set himself on fire too. He died on Saturday. Before the act, the man and the woman had done a live on a social media platform where they accused the UP police of colluding with the MP and his family and said they had no hope of justice. Atul Rai is the current MP from Ghosi in eastern UP and faces over 24 criminal cases including murder and rape. The woman filed the case against Rai in May 2019 in Varanasi, alleging he had raped her in 2018. Rai surrendered in June 2019 and has been in jail since. The rape case is pending in court. In November 2020, Rai's brother filed a forgery case against the woman, also in Varanasi. And on the 2nd of August this year, a court issued a non-bailable warrant against the woman after the police claimed she was untraceable. After the woman's suicide, the in charge of the Varanasi police station where the forgery case was filed and the investigating officer have been suspended by the UP government. At the woman's eastern UP village, her grandfather alleged the jailed MP's men used to threaten the family, saying, and I quote, Atul Rai used to threaten us. His men used to come and say we would be harmed. They used to come home, unquote. Mayawati's BSP has not reacted to the incident so far. With Ajay Singh, Karuna Sindhu and Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
10 days after the district council in western Uttar Pradesh's Aligarh passed a resolution to rename the district Harigarh, others have joined the renaming spree too, with name-changing proposals from Miaganj to Mayaganj and Mirzapur to Vindhyadham. All of this coming just months before the crucial state elections.
Miaganj in Uttar Pradesh's Unnao district is set to become Mayaganj after a name change proposal at the behest of the BJP MLA in the area. Mia is sometimes used as a prefix or a suffix in Muslim names in India and elsewhere.
ग्राम पंचायत मियागंज द्वारा ग्राम पंचायत मियागंज का नाम बदलकर मायागंज किए जाने का प्रस्ताव प्रस्तुत किया गया है। उक्त प्रस्ताव खंड विकास अधिकारी और उप जिलाधिकारी के माध्यम से प्राप्त हुआ है। उक्त प्रस्ताव शासन को अग्रिम कार्रवाई हेतु प्रेषित किया गया।
A UP government minister has also demanded the renaming of Eastern UP's Mirzapur to Vindhyadham. Mirzapur has the famous Ma Vindhyavasini temple, a popular pilgrimage spot.
हम भी चाहते हैं कि मिर्जापुर का नाम बदल करके विंध्यधाम कर दिया जाए और यह बहुत ही अति जरूरी है और जनता की भावनाओं के साथ मैं आवाज़ उठा रहा हूँ कि जनता भी देखने चाह रही है कि बहुत पुराना नाम मिर्जापुर का है, किस उद्देश्य से रखा गया था, लेकिन विंध्यधाम हो जाए तो यहाँ के लोगों की आस्था की पूर्ति भी होगी।
मैं आदित्यनाथ योगी।
After Adityanath became UP Chief Minister in 2017, there have been a host of high-profile name changes in the state, including the most recent proposal by a local body to change the name of Miyaganj to Mayaganj. In 2018, the UP government renamed Allahabad, home to the famous Sangam, to Prayagraj. 10 days ago, a local body cleared a proposal to rename Western Uttar Pradesh's Aligarh to Harigarh. Other proposed name changes are of central UP's Mainpuri district to Mayanpuri and Firozabad in western UP to Chandranagar. In November 2018, the UP government had announced the renaming of the Faizabad district to Ayodhya, the same name as the temple town 100 kilometers from Lucknow. With Indresh Pandey, Gaurav Sharma and Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, on to the big story we're tracking from Madhya Pradesh. On Sunday, 25-year-old Taslim was thrashed for allegedly trying to pass himself off as a Hindu in Indore. Hours later, he was charged for fraud and arrested on Tuesday under Section 7 and 8 of the POCSO Act for allegedly harassing a minor. However, this FIR has now raised some serious questions about the working of the police. Anurag Dwari with the full story.
In this terrifying moment, caught on camera, a bangle seller, Taslim, is the victim of a mob brutality. But just over 24 hours later, he became an accused via this FIR for allegedly sexually harassing a 13-year-old girl.
But the question remains over the police charges. The victim says she informed the police on August 23rd at around 5:49 p.m. a day after the beating incident. She also said that the delay was because she was worried about the public shame. Yet someone in the administration seems to be aware of the incident much earlier.
As seen in this media comment made by MP's Home Minister about the alleged misbehavior by the bangle seller at 11 a.m. on August 23rd, a good 7 hours before her complaint to the police.
चूड़ी बेचने के लिए वो उस मोहल्ले में वार्ड में था, हिंदू नाम रखा हुआ था, जबकि वो कुछ था दूसरे समुदाय से। आधार कार्ड भी इसी तरह के 2 मिले हैं।
The victim in her complaint said that her father had gone to the market when the incident happened. However, Indore's SP told the media that one of the 2 persons rounded up by the police based on video evidence included the victim's father.
क्योंकि पुलिस के पास में वीडियो था ऑलरेडी, तो पुलिस ने जो है उस वीडियो से आरोपियों की पहचान कर ली है। उसमें से 3 आरोपी मुख्य रूप से हैं जो कि उसमें लीड रूप में मारते हुए उसको दिख रहे हैं, बाकी को प्रवोक कर रहे हैं। लोकेशन पुलिस ने ट्रेस कर ली है और जहां पे है ये पुलिस ने वहां पे लोकल पुलिस से भी संपर्क स्थापित किया है।
Another question arises from the viral video in which the assailants can be heard saying that Taslim should be beaten to avenge Bombay Bazaar. The reference was to an incident on 13th August in which 2 minor girls of the Valmiki community were allegedly molested and their uncle allegedly thrashed in a Muslim-dominated Bombay Bazaar area, raising the question why the attackers would mention a 10-day-old incident as a provocation instead of the alleged one that took place on the day itself.
Once a victim, now an accused, Taslim has been remanded to police custody till 3rd of September. In Bhopal, with camera person Rizwan Khan, Anurag Dwari for NDTV.